Look at the little fella. Oh, what has happened to you?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you George! Ow. That fucking sucks. So, lots to do on Cousin George, the $100 Mazda Miata. One of the things I need to do is pull this hardtop off, and I think I might wait to paint it, and I kind of want to do it right, only because the hardtops hold a lot of value, so. In the meantime, I need to get these little side spat things mounted to cover up our unfixed rust. Definitely not the right way to do it, but it's gonna be invisible, and out of sight, out of mind. Another thing I gotta do is take care of the rear bumper. I'm totally fine with having it zip tied. Like, this is cool. The fitment's actually better than expected, but I need to figure out a way to hold the back of it up, because right now, if I take that tire out, it sags like crazy. I also have this little slit cut out for the jack point, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it kind of looks a little goofy. One other thing I could do is I could do a bumper cut. Basically, like, as this exhaust is cut, I could go all the way across and then mimic it on the driver's side. And I've never done it, but I think it'll look pretty good. If it was up to me, I wouldn't run a rear bumper at all, but the drift track that we go to, they require all body panels, so we will slap that all on. I have to get my body panel mounting figured out. Not sure what I'm gonna do. I gotta activate some brain power there and kind of figure out how to mount the rear bumper. It needs that BBL, baby. It needs that Brazilian butt lift. We also have this sick carbon fiber spoiler that I pulled off of the red car, which was free $99. So what do you do with something that's free? You ruin it. So we have our mounting points. See, they're like little hood pins we have over here and here. And then I drilled holes here. So I'm thinking I can kind of just drill a hole through there and then raise the hood pin. It might be a little much. It's kind of like, this is like 1.5 inches thick. Like right here is it's pretty thick. So I'm not sure if this is a fantastic idea, but it would be really fucking cool to have a spoiler on the back. I think it will flow with the aesthetic of George pretty well. It's like a sick little kickback type spoiler. Might do a hardtop spoiler eventually too, but I think this one looks pretty dang sick, dude. Flows right with it. Hell yeah. I also got these Johns, and I'm not sure how I feel about them. Like, the look, it's definitely not what I really like. It looks better than the rust, don't get me wrong. Like, it looks not bad if you look at it from here, but any other angle, it's hard to tell with my foot in the way also. Like, they're flat, which is sick, but if you look like this, it just kind of kicks out. Not the worst thing in the world. So I gotta figure out how to mount these. I'm thinking too much about this. This car was $100. We're keeping it budget. We are like significantly under budget. I'm gonna go through and tell you guys everything that we spent on George. You're gonna be surprised. This car is insanely cheap. I'll break it down.
Don't try this at home, boys and girls.
George is now topless. I'm trying to think of a good idea here to attach the bumper, and the only thing I could really think of is either I need to make some sort of bracket here that'll like hold it up somehow, like maybe slide over it, or I could just attach the bumper to this finish panel, but the finish panel is super fragile, so I'm like hesitant to do that. I really don't know. You gotta figure something out. Basically just need one sort of like middle support to just kind of hold it up. I think I have an idea. It may work. It may not work. But what if I just get a pool noodle and slide it over this? Over the bash bar. It doesn't need to be too secure. Like if I can ram a couple zip ties in each corner, I think the pool noodle might take up just enough room to like press up against this part of the bumper to kind of just push it up. I gotta go get a pool noodle now. I think that might be the move. Noodle time. Walk into the job lot. What is the first thing you see when you walk in the damn door? No way. Perfect. Oh, do I get the little John or the big John? Oh no. All right, Noodle Boy got one big noodle, one small noodle. I spent $7 on a freaking noodle at Job Lot. I thought noodles were supposed to be cheap. Apparently not in this economy. We have these two little pieces that are the experiment pieces. Now I'm going to just simply cut them in half. Oh, dude, I think the little one's gonna be money. That looks perfect, dude. Oh. No, that's not enough space. That's not enough space. Big noodle dude. All right, I think cutting the big noodle in half and then laying it across the tippity top. I'm gonna cut some big nude pieces. Let him cook. Let him cook with his noodles. That looks promising. I don't know. It doesn't look perfect, but dude, it looks so much better. Now, it's the final test. He's in there like somewhere. Oh, dude, this is a tight fit with the nudes. That's not bad. It's a little bit of a gap, but I'm gonna take it. So Noodles, big win. I gotta remember that for that car too. Noodles, if you wanna fill up space for your bumper and you don't have a factory bumper and you just have a bash bar, pool noodles. Pool noodles are the way. Last thing on the bumper I need to decide is if I wanna do a bumper cut or if I want him to have his little butthole here. I'm really leaning towards doing the bumper cut because I think it would look pretty dope. Like, this bumper has already been cut. Somebody already cut it because they put the freaking exhaust tip in the wrong spot. So I could kind of just, kind of follow that line all the way over there. And then you might be able to see a little bit of the bash bar. I don't actually know. You might see the bottom piece there. So I am leaning towards doing that. Worst case scenario is this bumper's already shot. Like, it's super duper shot. It's gonna take a lot of prep work, and if I can take out like a solid 2-3 minutes of prep work, I'm gonna do it. So I'll probably create more work myself just cutting it, to be honest, than it will be sanding it, but I think it'll look better. We're gonna do the bumper cut and just kind of follow this line across. So I'm gonna pull this bumper off and I guess get cutting, see what happens. All right, so took these little pieces out of the noodling here, and it seemed to help a little bit. And I actually don't hate the bumper cut at all. I think it looks pretty sick. You can see the bottom half of the bash bar now, and it's not in the way. We got our exhaust. I cleaned up this side a little bit and made it a little bit more flowy. And it's so low that if it's not symmetrical, I don't think anybody will ever know. Now I want to put some sort of rear mud flaps or spats or something on there just to make it a little flowier. Because next thing I'm going to do is put those little side skirt extensions on. That kind of hides our rust problem. But I think it'll look a little funny if I have these things on here and I don't have anything on the back. So before paint, I think I'd like to figure out what I want to do here. Kind of get that situated, and then it just kind of drops. See how it's pokey and then nothing? We just had some mud flaps or something. Any sort of thing right there, I think it would help the look out a lot. But for now, let's try and figure out how I'm supposed to mount these. I think it would be of my best interest to put them on the car first and then paint them. I might have to sand these and then put adhesion promoter on them. Try and figure out a way to mount it so it doesn't look dumb. I've sanded these down. Now, they're sanded in 320, and I roughed up the back with 80, so there'd be some sort of sticky. I might hit them a little bit more with the DA sander. I am going to use something that's probably pretty ignorant. I have it lying around. It is windshield glue. This might be the most ignorant shit I could do, but I think it won't ever fall off. And honestly, if it does, like look at the rust. But I figured if it can hold a windshield in, it could definitely hold this little side skirt thing in place. It might look a little funny. It'll look a lot better if you don't see like rivet or riv nut holes in this. And there's no reason for me to take this off. I mean, George is a little too far gone under here, so not too bad. I'm going to get adhesion promoter, spray that on this, and then stick it on. So I just installed the little hood, or not hood, yeah, the little trunk lock thing that we had going on here. The little, it goes through here, and then there's a piece that snaps on top. And unfortunately, this is as tall as it will go. So I don't think I'll be able to run that spoiler, unfortunately. But I have a better idea that we'll do in the future, inspired by the Night Ride guys making like the drag wing out of aluminum. So I think that will actually be pretty sick. And then we can kind of do it right around that. Can probably sell this on Facebook for like 60, 80 bucks, something like that. Somebody will like it. It's a cool style. But for now, at least that's one less thing I got to worry about. Our little hood latch things got to stay because I really like those. They're pretty sweet, and it's the only way we can latch our trunk. So the goal for today, get the rear bumper prepped and primed. Paint this little section of the car black. Got to scuff that and then paint that black. Spray these little doodads with adhesion promoter, and then once that dries, mount them to the car with windshield glue. I know that's ignorant. You don't have to tell me. So I got adhesion promoter. We've got some clear and some black for this piece. The adhesion promoter is for the little spat fellas. And then I got primer too. The more I think about it, I don't really need the primer, but I remember that the bumper is like this, so I think sand it down, and then that will kind of just like fill in any little cracks, holes, any issues that we got going on here. But the whole car is getting painted black before anything, so if it's not too bad, then I don't need to prime it, and I can return that primer. So think for now, first step, I'm gonna rip this bumper off, leave my little noodles in place, but rip it off, sand it down, because that's friggin' terrible. I hate sanding. So the sanding time lapse begins. Ah, boy. All right, this sucks. Basically, I have to take it down to this layer, and it's still rough, so like all this stuff gums up the sandpaper, but we're getting there slowly but surely. That was absolutely awful. I'm still not even done. I've only sanded it up to 220, and I'm still not even done with 220, but that was 2 hours. 2 full hours of sanding. Still gotta jump it up to 320, but my hands are absolutely tingling, both of them. All right, so I got some adhesion promoter. I'm opting to not do any more sanding for right now because it's driving me nuts. So I'm gonna spray down these little side spat pieces with some adhesion promoter. It should just show up clear. Just kind of makes the paint stick to them. I cleaned them with wax and grease remover and dried them off with a paper towel. So hopefully it's good to go. Gonna give this a shake and spray her down. Wasn't expecting that to go on the way it did. Just kind of like dries immediately, super clear. I'll wait 10 minutes and then hit them again. Let those dry in the sun for a minute, and then hopefully we'll be good. While I wait, I'm gonna start cleaning and prepping this. This is just gonna be a quick little hit with 400 grit sandpaper, and then I gotta mask all this off and give it a quick little spray with some black paint. Let that dry, and then hit it with some clear. My half-assed mask job. Basically, you see how I'm leaving a little bit on the windshield, because if you see here, there's overspray from many previous paint jobs as well as where I primed, and I figured since I'm painting this black, I think that'll look better. So fight fire with fire, I guess. Kind of try and combat the overspray and just kind of spray it black. Fly, if you land on my paint, I swear to God, I'm gonna be pissed. Get the fuck out of here. Gonna spray this black. I got the Windshield promoter. I did a second coat on that and let that dry. I'm gonna cover that just a little bit and then rattle can her black. Let's go. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but this comes out way faster than I thought. I mean, the adhesion promoter kind of threw me off a little bit, I guess, but this came out so fast. And it laid down so bad, dude. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, do another coat. Oh, dude, it looks so bad. How is it so bad? It's gonna be black at least, but like, what the fuck? I still see fish eyes. There's stuff going on. Chill. How's it running? Oh man, I fucked up already, dude. This sucks. Man. Look at that run. What the fuck, dude? Do I wipe it off now? I don't know. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna use like a little razor blade or something and wet sand it, and then I'll clear it. Poop. Well, since I'm already on a spree of kind of fucking things up, let's continue that streak and do one of the more questionable things I think I've ever done to a car, and that's use windshield glue to stick on some eBay little side skirt pieces. So my grand old idea here is kind of put it where I want it, which is right about there. Hold it in place, and then drill a hole for my self-tapper while I have it where I want it. We drilled another hole. Okay. Just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm gonna apply some goop inside here and then chip bay piece. Hold it. You know what? I'll hold it for a second too. I don't think it'll take too long to hold. So right here I have some windshield glue. Normally you have a little thing that you load this in. It's like a caulking gun. Mine's broken. So sweet. This is what we're doing. We are just cutting a hole in it. Now we take that and spread said goop. Maybe not the way I just did. God damn it. Spread the goop all around. And now we have one shot, one opportunity. We take our self-tapper, send that back home, and then we take second self-tapper. Okay. Please hold, please hold, please hold. Hopefully this wax and grease remover will remove windshield shit. Maybe not. Okay. That probably took off my adhesion promoter. But, you know what? At least the goop is off. I think that's in there like swimwear, people. That was very interesting. Don't know if it's gonna hold. But I think we'll be good. But if you look here, it is relatively straight. It's tucked in there. It's not like it's gonna fall off. Those two self-tappers, I might even be able to take those off, but I think I'm gonna leave those for now. The gap at the top, minimal, except in this one spot where it's like seeping out. But you know, I think that'll be fine. This looks good. I think I'm gonna do the other side. Not gonna film it. I'll show you guys what the other side looks like when I'm done. All right, slowly but surely starting to look like a car. We have our little spat things on. I don't think they look that bad. I mean, I think it came out pretty solid. The gaps are way better than I was expecting. My little windshield urethane, like there's a slight gap, but it's never gonna fall off. If you don't want things falling off, this is what you gotta do. But if you want them to be removable, by all means, do not freaking do that. I think they look pretty solid though. Like, I don't hate I don't like how, if you look from like here, it looks like it's drooping downwards. But if you're looking from a side, it's parallel with the ground. So I think I'm gonna make something that goes along the bottom there just to kind of level it out. I think it'll look sick. But we got our rear bumper. I gotta finish prepping that. It's sanded to 220 now, but I gotta go drop it down to 320, hit it with some primer. I do like how it fits now. I gotta mount it on both sides for it to stay, but not too bad. We got side spats, we got a bumper. We can't run a spoiler, but that's all right. Everything is looking freaking sick, dude. Tomorrow's the 4th of July, so I think I'm gonna take a break from George tomorrow, but Friday, we are back at it. I think I'm gonna try and put a video together for this upload, and I think we got some stuff done. We got the spats, we got the bumper almost done, we got the noodles under there, we got the top piece finished, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. So if you guys like this video, please drop a like and subscribe. I know I've been dragging ass trying to get Georgie together, but it's slowly but surely happening, and I promise you it will be worth it. This car is under $500 total cost. Once I'm done, I will break down everything, at least done painting it. I'll break down the cost of everything, how I manage the money, how I traded things, found things, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I'll explain everything. But for now, like, comment, subscribe. Take it easy, everybody. Georgie loves you, and so do I.